Hi everybody, this is Gadget Scouts in London. What I want to do today is just briefly talk to you about an idea that I've been carrying around for a while to do with hiking and camping. There's a website you should visit, www.traveldave.co.uk. Now Travel Dave has written a book called Travel Hacking. Dave's my son. I do some different sorts of travelling, a lot of overnight stays in hotels and camping and hiking. So what I wanted to do today was just talk to you about making your own travel food and just how you can go about that and how simple it is. There's no particular product endorsement here, it's just to give you an idea. I know I keep focusing on this. This is the main component, which is the bag sealer that I bought off of Amazon. Now, generally speaking, when we're travelling or we go and buy hiking food and stuff, we tend to buy pre-packed meals that are quite expensive. I'm actually convinced that you can do your own, and I'll take you through some of the things and how we go about it. Now, where I've started with this is looking at, say, a main meal. None of this is going to be absolutely 100% appetising and any substitute for, a meal out in a restaurant or something like that. But if you're travelling and you just arrive in a hotel room and all you've got with you is a cup and saucer or a small bowl and a spoon and a kettle, then you can actually make a meal. So what I've done here is there's the Ainsley roasted couscous. That was bought from a car boot sale, £1.50, $3 for a massive tub. One scoop of that is a portion. You can in Tesco's or other stores buy this sort of stuff pre-packed, but generally that's too much for one person. That's two people's worth of food there. So what I've done is, using the bag sealer, I've actually put in there one scoop of that with some seasoning, which is just some soup seasoning from the Polish aisle in Tesco's, which gives it some veg flavour, and just in the top there is some dried vegetables which you can just buy in a packet for making soups. Now that can quite happily mix up in a large mug or a small bowl, and that is a good meal for one person. And all I've done there is use some of this plastic tubing using the sealer, and that's what I've done. I'm going to field test this stuff later, so I'll actually be able to show you how it cooks up with a jet boil stove. The other reason for doing this is Chingford District in North East London, Scouts and Duke of Edinburgh Award. I'm trying to help the youngsters to realise they can make their own food up without having to pay lots of expensive pre-packed meals. Again, we're all familiar with these. These sorts of noodle packs are great. They're not always the flavour you want. You can break this in half using these seal bags, and you've got your own portion. Likewise, if you fancy something, with a curry, you can just put a scoop of curry in there. If you just want traditional English, just put some gravy, because what that will do is give it a meaty stock flavour and just thicken it up with a sort of sauce. You can use OXO cubes and things like that. The other thing I've done is a savoury for the main course, but then a sweet for afterwards. What I've done here, these are just Ziploc bags, but I've sealed them in the middle so that can be cut down in two. And what I've got in the top here is Tesco's custard powder, which is really good stuff at 15p. That's 30 cents in the US. But again, the whole packet's far too much, so you just put a couple of scoops of that. Just add hot water. That gives you a custard base. I've added into there some porridge, as we call it, rolled oats, and a few nuts and raisins. And that in a mug will make up quite a nice sort of custard-based dessert. What I've got in the base one here, this is where the whole story started. I do a lot of commuting and take my breakfast to work with me. So what I've got in there is a scoop of porridge, a smaller scoop of dried powdered milk. I buy my powdered milk, that's in a tub, but again for £1.20 in Tesco's, a large box of powdered milk. That's sort of $2-3. That lasts forever. So scoop of that, scoop of porridge, scoop of milk, and a few currants. That warms up very nicely in a mug or a small bowl, and that's all portion mix. So this is really about taking home with you stuff that you're used to having. You can take that a step further in the evening when you're away. You don't always find this in a hotel room, so take home comfort with you. What I've got there is good scoop of Cadbury's instant hot chocolate, which is my favourite, and a couple of Oreos. So there's a sort of bedtime comfort pack. What I've put in here is, us Brits love our tea, but this is simple and easy to do. Just a single tea bag I don't take sugar, but a scoop of the powdered milk in there. Again, with the porridge, if you like it sweet, you just put a scoop of sweetener. And for the Jetboil fans, especially for my mate Chris, he knows who he is out there, we've just bought the Jetboil add-on, which turns your Jetboil stove into a cafetiere. So what we've got here is a scoop of Costa's proper ground coffee with the powdered milk and a small amount of sweetener. Again, doing it this way, you know how much sweetener you like. So by experimenting, of course, what you do is you get your proportions right in a mug at home with a kettle. Then you just simply make up your own baggies. So I've got a couple of coffee ones there. Taking it a step further in the morning, if you like your breakfast regime. I like my vitamin tablets in the morning if I'm away. That just keeps me going. Multivitamin, vitamin B there, and a hay fever tablet. I put that with my tea and my powdered milk. So next weekend, be on a scout camp, I know I can just get that in the morning, ready to go. The thing is, it cuts down on bulk and what you're carrying. So there's my morning tea, there's my morning porridge, that's me done for the day there. Obviously during the day you can build up your own snacks and save a lot of money just buying the things you want to put in your trail mix. You know, you can make these portions if you're on a diet up to what you want, so you're not wasting any food. That's the key. And these are actually regular Ziploc baggies, nothing special. I've just sealed them with the heat sealer, so you know that all sort of works. Taking it a step further, I like this sort of bread, which comes vacuum packed, lasts for a long time. But if I want to take 2 slices of that out with some cream cheese spread, or you know, we have in England, we're all loving this sandwich spread stuff. Comes up in various flavours. You can of course get these tins that come in MRE and ration packs, which are pate, and of course our old English favourite of the tins of sardines, which our Nordic friends love as well. So by doing that, these sorts of biscuits you might like don't keep very well if they're not vacuum sealed. So by putting 2 or 3 of these in a portion into a baggie, and of course these are Rivita biscuits, these come up in all sorts of flavours, these ones are particularly good. Taking it a step further, just for normal camping cooking and for hiking, these are experiments I need to get into yet, but you know, a pizza base mix. Significance of that, just add water. That's a basic flat bread mix. So in a camping billy, on a small stove, that sort of thing, you should be able to whip up some dough, knead it across, make yourself some twists or plats, and have a small fresh flatbread. You know, it's about thinking through and adapting. Again, something else I want to try. This Tesco sponge mix, very, very inexpensive. It's about $1.50. What I want to do with that, that's a cupcake mix, so we should be able to mess around with some pan-cooked cupcakes or some baking. Again, need to try this out, haven't done yet. The next one is this very, very inexpensive batter mix, which Tesco's do, 15 pence, 30 cents. That, really good pancakes. Again, the beauty of this one is it's just add water. So, you know, that's the whole point. Sorry about the focus there. This one says add an egg if you want to make up a Yorkshire batter mix, but if you just want to make pancakes, this works perfectly well, just adding water. So again, say you can halve it, put it in a baggie, seal it up. One of these you could cut in half and use for 2 portions. And the other one I'm going to try at some point is this scone mix. We call them scones. I think they're known as corn cakes or different types of flatbreads out in the state. But what I want to do there is add this in with some dried fruit, and that makes a very basic cake that you should be able to just put in a billy can with some tin foil, and you know, or in what you know as a can cake if you go and look at backpacking sites. So again, that can be split up into portions, because this one serves 8. You might want to make it into 4 small baggies. So what I've tried to do here is to just give you an idea of 3 things really: normal camping food and hiking, Duke of Edinburgh Award stuff in particular. Again, I've also put pasta here. Pasta's very quick to boil up, very, very inexpensive. Huge bag of it is $1, you know, 50 pence in the UK. It's not a lot of money. Doesn't use a lot of fuel for pasta. Rice is something else you can do. I will say a word of caution about rice though. You cannot cook rice and carry it with you unless it's cooked from dry, because it will poison you. You need to do some research on that. However, all of this is working on the idea that if you're going to use it for hiking, you're only going to be away for a couple of days. If you prepare the stuff the night before, you can use it the next day. This is not vacuum sealed, this is just sealed. So the rice to use if you're going to do that is microwave rice. Microwaved rice in the rice packs that take 2 minutes in a microwave is already pre-cooked. So what you can do there is split one of those packs into two, reseal the bag using the heat sealer for one portion, put a second portion in a baggie, and then you just heat that up in your billy or your jet boil. But if you're going to do that and split the things up, then use it within the first day. If you're going to take rice with you, just keep it sealed in the pack you buy it in. It'll be good for the whole trip. So I hope I've given you a few ideas here. Love to hear feedback, love to hear some more ideas as well. But this is also for the regular traveller who goes away to hotels, train journeys. Don't get caught short without any food. You can put your own stuff in and it's taken home with you, especially the idea of the hot chocolate and the Oreos. Hope you've enjoyed it. This is Gadget Scout, once again recommending traveldave.uk, traveldave.co.uk and travel hacking. Cheers for now.